From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First. Go ahead. Rhino!
3rd and long for Cousins. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
Play action now, Winston. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Green, triple C. Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Sonic. Hey, stop. Let's go. Sonic. That. Where's that?
From the gun, Winston. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been, because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Throwing, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead.
Partner, you know the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey. First. Get high. 180.
2nd down, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Cousins the thrower, and he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. And now running right through it. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Easy. Here we go. Hey, sub. Let's go. Sonic.
Jameis now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past. The 50. Winston now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a second down throw for Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! O.J. Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Cousins on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Noah Spence in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded about a yard deep.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Noah Spence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, stop. Let's go.
2nd down, Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Sonic. Green, Travis C.
Now Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Able to avoid him at the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season. Here we are in December. Right, it is a season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Ready, black 22.
On play action, Winston. Looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Jones. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
Now that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They come up in an offset eye. 3rd and goal. Winston. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on 4th down, may as well make him punt it. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now. And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with a... We now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Harris to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here. It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel. Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? From the shotgun, it's Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for. Jameis to throw it. Muscling free near the 40. And he's got some space here. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter. Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one. Has that happened to you before? No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. First carry for a Central Florida alum, Latavius Murray. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion. What's that? It wasn't an interception. Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
Go ahead, go ahead. Gun! Wide.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
Green, triple C. Ready. Blue lady.
Now Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Buccaneer first, Winston to Brate. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Green, triple C. 5-0. Sonic.
To throw, Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. George Kittle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the two-point try.
Hey, 382, let's 50. Right there. Hey, yo.
They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a two-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more two-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
550. Sonic. Watch his mouth, guys.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this third quarter. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. Jameis now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. This is Jones, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Rodgers. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Green, triple C. Even.
Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And he puts it through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now come the Vikings. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Hey, Clifford.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 54 yards. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. To throw, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case,
and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Here we go, even.
And they try the sweep to Jones. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Jones. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And they'll run it here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now a handoff for Drake. And he gets it down to the 32. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On the give, this is Drake. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
so for the Bucs, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll be guaranteed a finish of drop to 7-8.